know if they connected to each, like something with that.
Here. I think this is a nice heifer in terms of some added stoutness and power. I think she wins the class primarily when you set this cattle in motion. She's truer moving, she's longer strided, she handles her hind leg so much more securely than the heifer that's going to come in second. I'd like to drop more natural body in this heifer, but again, I think a heifer that still represents some good in terms of some general width and dimension. Heifer's going to stand second at the stand. You like the body type that's represented here. She's feminine through her front end. Unfortunately, when you ask this heifer to lead, she starts getting really choppy and stiff in the way that she moves. She doesn't handle her hind leg quite right. And then when you really start breaking her down, she's maybe pushing it just a little bit in terms of condition at this stage of the game. You'd like to trim that back just a little bit as well. Nice pair of heifers. Congratulations.
Congratulations to your class winner. Entry number 4290, Rhett Wade of Road Forks, New Mexico. And rounding up the class will be entry number 4452, Peyton Mortensen of Modesto, California. We'll now be bringing in our first place individual from Class 1, entry number 4534, Catherine Hetch of Quick Creek, Arizona. And our class winner from Class 3, entry number 4290, Rhett Wade of Road Forks, New Mexico. We're going to be bringing in our second place individual, entry number 4452, Peyton Mortensen of Modesto, California.
Just recently, so I won't go back through and address that, other than the fact that I think the division lines up pretty handily with a class winner out of our first class to be your champion. Really puts a lot of positives together for me. We'll follow it up with the class for the second class to be reserved. Congratulations.
Congratulations on your division champion, entry number 4534, Catherine Hetch of Queen Creek, Arizona. And your reserve in the division belongs to entry number 4290, Rhett Wade of Road Forks, New Mexico.
Yeah. It's AOB and then Charolais. I'm not seeing the live on here.
We are now going to be moving on to Class 4, Late Senior Heifer Calf, November through December of 2020. Well, we will be bringing in a single entry. Entry number 4198, Riley Hensley of Kamal Falls, Oregon.
Oh my god, there's codes. That's what happened. You see that? What?
Nice heifer, just a single entry, but again, I think a heifer that sure got a lot of advantages for what she offers. Super feminine in her pattern, one that's really long fronted, ties nice and high there to her shoulder. I like the body type that's represented here in terms of being deeper ribbed, having some upper spread up high there, and still one that's got some width of chest and maintains that width advantage when you step in behind her. Just a good, complete kind of a heifer here to win this class. Congratulations.
Congratulations. September through October of 2020. We'll be looking for single entry of entry number 4449, Peyton Mortensen, Modesto, California.
Well, again, just one heifer out here, but sure one that could have handled some more competition. She's one that's attractive made, real stylish when you analyze it from a profile. She's real powerful in terms of her construction. She's big-footed and heavy bone, got some width to her throughout. Just a nice made kind of a heifer, definitely one that's deserving to win this class.
Congratulations to entry number 4449, Peyton Mortensen of Modesto, California. We will now be bringing in our both of our single entries in for the division drive. Entry number 4198, Riley Hensley of Kamal Falls, Oregon. And entry number 4449, Peyton Mortensen from Modesto, California.
Well, two nice heifers out here for our division honors, and very different in terms of their type and kind. You have one heifer that's she's a little more stylish when you view her from a profile, maybe not quite as wide and dimensional as the heifer that came in the second class, because she is the stouter made one. She's also maybe a little bit piecier in the way that she puts everything together. So those are kind of the differences between them. I think when you cut it back clear to the basics in terms of functional build, the one to me that toes truer up front, the one that's more secure from hawk to ground and travels with more security on the go, comes out of the first class. She's going to be your division winner. Congratulations. We'll follow it up with the other one for reserve.
Congratulations to entry number 4198, Riley Hensley, Bald Falls, Oregon. And your division reserve belongs to entry number 4449, Peyton Mortensen, Modesto, California. We will now be moving into Class 8 Junior Yearling Heifers, capped March through April of 2020. We have a single entry. Entry number 4106, Aubrey Owen of Chino Valley, Arizona.
Well, another single entry, but a nice heifer, one that sure has some pieces that you can appreciate out here. I really like to see at this stage of the game that she has some udder development going on. She's got nice refined teeth, and placement's really good from that standpoint. She's a sound functional heifer at the ground. Just a really...
Hey, I think they're doing it inside the hog barn.
lady. Congratulations to her.
Congratulations, your division champion belongs to entry number 4106, Aubrey Owen of Chino Valley, Arizona. We will now be moving right into the grand champion selection of the 2021 Arizona National Livestock Show All of the Breeds Open Cattle Show. In our female selection, we're going to be looking for entry number 4534, Catherine Hetch of Quick Creek, Arizona. Entry number 4198, Riley Hensley of Bald Falls, Oregon. Entry number 4106, Aubrey Owen, Chino Valley, Arizona. And we also bring in our reserve grand champions from the divisions. Entry number 4290, Rhett Wade of Road Forks, New Mexico. Entry number 4449, Peyton Mortensen of Modesto, California.
Slobber.
really nice set of females that we've had come through the ring in the AOB show. One thing that I always like about the AOB shows is the fact that we get lots of variety out here in terms of what they represent for their own individual breed, but then collectively we're putting together those positives out here to pick a champion in reserve. Again, we've talked about each one of these within our class, but just to kind of recap a few things, our young division winner is one that's sure impressive when you look at her from a profile. She's one that's super ladylike in terms of her presence. She's one that's got some body depth. I like the shape that's represented here. She gets out and travels with some flexibility. Just a good solid made kind of a heifer there in that first division. The next is the one we talked about that division maybe offered some differences. But again, I think when we break it down to the basics, here's the one that's functional in terms of her feet and legs. She's flexible. She's correct in the way that she's built. I like her body type. She's not the fluffiest one that we've seen come through, but I like her condition from that standpoint. I like that she's a little bit trimmer in terms of that. It keeps her really clean and fresh looking up front. She could maybe be just a nickel stouter when you get right in behind her, but still a really nice made kind of a heifer from that second division. We just talked about this one out of our third division a few minutes ago, and again, she's one that's athletic in terms of her build. She's got some pieces that you can sure appreciate. Again, in terms of her stage of development, there's a lot of characteristics from a female standpoint that I like in terms of her udder development. Just a really nice set of class or division winners that we have out here, and appropriately some reserves as well. I'm going to go out and select the two that I like. If you would, let's put our hands together for all these exhibitors that have come through the ring in our AOB show.
Congratulations, your 2021 Arizona Nationals Open All of the Breeds champion female belongs to Catherine Hench of Queen Creek, Arizona. We will now be bringing in entry number 4290, Rhett Wade of Road Forks, New Mexico. Congratulations, your reserve grand champion of the 2021 Arizona National Open All of the Breeds champion female belongs to entry number 4198, Riley Hensley, Kamal Falls, Oregon. Champion All of the Breeds female, she will receive a knife that has been donated by Bartol Quarter Horses, Tom and Margit Bartol. She'll also be receiving a banner that has been donated by Marty Bar Ranch Incorporated, Mr. and Mrs. Bob and Judy Crosser. The reserve grand champion will receive a banner that has been donated by the Arizona National Livestock Show. Please give our sponsors a big round of applause.
I'm Ravenna Bloomberg. I'm from Secor, Illinois. I'm going to be judging the open cattle shows at the Arizona National this year in 2021. So when it comes to judging cattle, I think that, we're in an aspect in the industry where good, functional built cattle, they're always going to be in vogue. Regardless of trends that are out there in terms of a certain look or a certain design or something that way, you forego all that, and good quality cattle are still going to be built good in terms of their structure. They're going to be ones that are functional in terms of their body type, and they're going to have some width and dimensions. I know for me personally, I like to see cattle, obviously, that are flexible off both ends of their skeleton. I want to see cattle that are built right in terms of having some width and power. They're ones that represent, the beef breeds that we evaluate in this industry. They got to have some power to them, but at the same time, especially with breeding females, they need to have some of those extra pieces in terms of functionality. I would just encourage young people, showmanship is a day-to-day game. It's not one in the ring, it's one at home. It's how much effort you put into it. Because someday, if you put in the effort and you put in the time and you continue to improve your skills, then you will be able to understand what you have to do to get to that next level. I would tell exhibitors, in terms of advice, especially coming out of a season in history that we've had here recently, is don't forego the opportunities that are available to you. Whether or not you think you can win, that's not always what's important. It's what you're able to get out of it. And so go ahead, take those risks, enter those shows, do your best, see what happens. You never know. A judge may have a slightly different opinion than you do on the quality of your animal, and so give it a shot. If you've worked hard for it, go for it. I'm Ravenna Bloomberg. I'm from Secor, Illinois. I'm going to be judging the open cattle shows at the Arizona National this year in 2021. So when it comes to judging cattle, I think that, we're in an aspect in the industry where good, functional built cattle, they're always going to be in vogue. Regardless of trends that are out there in terms of a certain look or a certain design or something that way, you forego all that, and good quality cattle are still going to be built good in terms of their structure. They're going to be ones that are functional in terms of their body type, and they're going to have some width and dimensions. I know for me personally, I like to see cattle, obviously, that are flexible off both ends of their skeleton. I want to see cattle that are built right in terms of having some width and power. They're ones that represent, the beef breeds that we evaluate in this industry. They got to have some power to them, but at the same time, especially with breeding females, they need to have some of those extra pieces in terms of functionality. I would just encourage young people, showmanship is a day-to-day game. It's not one in the ring, it's one at home. It's how much effort you put into it. Because someday, if you put in the effort and you put in the time and you continue to improve your skills, then you will be able to understand what you have to do to get to that next level. I would tell exhibitors, in terms of advice, especially coming out of a season in history that we've had here recently, is don't forego the opportunities that are available to you. Whether or not you think you can win, that's not always what's important. It's what you're able to get out of it. And so go ahead, take those risks, enter those shows, do your best, see what happens. You never know. The judge may have a slightly different opinion than you do on the quality of your animal, and so give it a shot. If you've worked hard for it, go for it.
Welcome back to the open show, and what a way to start off. I think this is a real impressive female that comes in here just as a single entry, but one that's definitely built correctly. One that definitely grabs my attention in terms of having some look and some style and presence out here, but still combining all those things that make her good and functional in terms of her type and kind. Solid made, real complete kind of a heifer. Congratulations, young man.
Congratulations to entry number 485, Luke Steele of Cottonwood, California. Entering the ring next is going to be class number 2, Junior Heifer Calves, February of 2021. We'll be looking for entry number 4503, Lindsay Franklin, Ladonia, Texas.
another single entry, but again, I think a real impressive heifer in her own right. One that's really stout featured. She's built on some foot and bone with some added width and power to her. She still looks like a female up front in terms of having that ties high there into her shoulder. Good body kind of a heifer. Really solid and complete here to win the next class. Congratulations.
Congratulations to entry number 4503, Lindsay Franklin, Livestock, Texas. As she exits the ring, we're going to be bringing in Class 3 Junior Heifer Calves capped January of 2021. We're going to be looking for entry number 4475, Kelly Cordell of Cheney, Washington.
Is that loud or no?
One nice heifer here. A young lady does a nice job getting her pulled into position there. She's attractive and well made in terms of her profile. She's one that has some upper shape to her. She wants to maybe narrow just a little bit more when you step right in behind her. Maybe not quite as stout in her overall feature, but still one that definitely has some pieces that you could sure appreciate in terms of center rib dimension, length and extension throughout. Nice job.
Congratulations to entry number 4475, Kelly Cordell of Cheney, Washington. We will now be bringing in our first place individuals for the division draw. Entry number 485, Luke Steele, Cottonwood, California. Entry number 4503, Lindsay Franklin of Ladonia, Texas. And entry number 4475, Kelly Cordell of Cheney, Washington.
Really nice division. There we go. Maybe we got it going now. Maybe not just tons of numbers in this particular division, but I think in terms of quality, you have to be impressed with what you see out here. I think each one of these class winners definitely represents the breed well, but aside from that, they look like good functional cattle. They'll bear correctly, the body type's right, there's some shape and power in these, and then it makes it fun as an evaluator, whether you're ringside or a judge in the middle of the ring, to get to sort the differences from there. Those extra bells and whistles and where you're going to lay your priorities in terms of which direction you want to go. I think all three of these heifers are quite nice. I think it comes down to the two more on this end in terms of just having a little bit more show ring presence, maybe blending a little bit smoother, being a little nicer balanced all the way through. And of that pair, there's one that to me is just a little bit fuller in her heart, maybe offers just a little bit more natural rib shape up high to facilitate more natural volume all the way through, maybe just a notch more genuine in her width as well. I like the youngest calf to be your champion in this division. We'll follow this young lady here in front of me for reserve.
Congratulations to entry number 485, Luke Steele from Cutwood, California. And your division with reserve champion belongs to entry number 4503, Lindsey Franklin, Ladoni, Texas. We will now be moving into class number 5, early senior heifer calves, calves September through October of 2020. We'll be bringing in entry number 4482, Kelly Cordell, Chinton, Washington.
Well, another good heifer here, and again, the young man does an exceptional job getting her presented out here. One that's attractive in terms of her general build. She's one that I like the dimension that she has. She's wide-chested and maintains that advantage all the way through. If you're going to change her just a little bit, you can knead her up just a little bit from her shoulder forward, lengthen her out, clean that neck up just a scotch, maybe make her move with just a little bit more stability from behind, especially back there through her rear pastern. But again, in terms of basics of kind, I like her levelness and squareness of design. I like how stout she is out of her hip. Nice heifer.
Congratulations to your division winner. Entry number 4482, Kale Cordell, Chinton, Washington. We will now be bringing in our brand and one reserve in for our 2021 Arizona National Charolais Open Congratulations to entry number 485, Luke Steele, Cottonwood, California.
To bring the reserve from that division into the lineup, and again, we talked about earlier, I think it was close in that division. I think both of those heifers offer a lot of quality. I think there's some subtle differences between the two, but I think when you bring this heifer into the lineup, it makes it pretty easy. She's logically the second best one here. Let's congratulate her.
Congratulations, your reserve champion belongs to entry number 45, Lindsay Franklin of Latonia, Texas.
Well, just a single entry out here, but what an impressive cow-calf pair. It takes a lot of work and a lot of effort to keep your females together through production like this, and to be able to showcase not only their unique qualities, but then their offspring as well. And that work doesn't go unnoticed out here. Even though there's only one one entry, I think it's really quite good, and they should be extremely proud of what they were able to bring to the Arizona National. I think the cow herself is one that really amplifies where the breed is headed in terms of being functional in their build, but still looking feminine up front, having some stoutness and shape when you get in behind her, and that's replicated in the calf inside. And I think if you were maybe going to change it just a little bit, there's times that that calf gets a little straighter in its shoulder, maybe wants to toe out just a bit up front. But that's getting critical of a really nice pair here. So if you would, let's congratulate this champion cow-calf pair.
Congratulations to your champion cow-calf pair, entry number 42, Carter Sanchez of Gridley, California.